Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, just wait. We're not there yet. Let me explain. Okay, so this is my Sony 24-105 f4 lens. I use this lens for everything, for weddings, for photography, for videography, for motocross, everything. It almost never comes off my camera, but throughout the years, I have dropped it. I have bashed it up against walls by accident, and it's acquired quite a few scratches and dents. But one dent in particular has kind of gotten in the way of me being able to use this lens. What ended up happening was I dropped my camera and it landed right on the edge of the lens, just like that. There's a dent that happened right about here. I was able to push the dent back out and make this perfectly round again, but it messed up the threads. So now I can only get filters on sometimes. I have to have it like perfectly straight, but it's a super slow process. And if you're like me and you change filters and lenses often, this is just not an easy thing to do, especially for me when I'm out shooting motocross and it's really dusty and I'm messing around with filters and I'm sitting there trying to perfectly line up a filter to my lens. It's just not going to work out. So let me show you what my solution is. Okay, so this is a 77mm UV filter, and my plan is I'm going to punch out the glass and leave just the ring, thread it onto the lens and leave it there. You might be asking, why don't you just get one without the glass in it? Just get a ring. My answer to that is it doesn't really exist. You can't really find that. I also can't use step-up rings because this is 77mm and all of my filters are 77mm. And I'm not about to go buy different size filters just when I can buy a $9 or $6 UV filter. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully it breaks easily and hopefully it's not glued on the edges. I need to get like some sort of rag or something. Get a bunch of paper towel. Just gonna roll it up. All right, I'm gonna put it right here, fold it, and knock it out. You serious? Okay, didn't break. There we go. All right, there we go. Now we just gotta punch out all the glass. Be careful. It is glass. At the end of the day, all these UV filters are actual glass. So filter is completely knocked out. Everything's clean. All the shards of glass are out. Most of these you can punch out the glass and the glass will just fall out of the lip. It's not glued. So you don't really have to worry about that if this is something that you want to do. Now I just got to get this just right to thread this back on. See how grimy that is? Boom. There we go. I'm not going to put it too tight. Now, I have good threads. I can thread this guy on nice and easy. That is the finished product. Only thing I will say is if you have a wider lens than 24mm, you might start to see some vignetting. But if you have like a 24mm, a 50mm and higher, you're not gonna have that issue. Like for a 24mm, I don't have any vignetting going on. Funny story is, a few years ago, I made a TikTok video doing the same thing because I used to do this all the time for like new lenses that I got because I didn't want to ruin the threads. And I would usually trade lenses in or sell them. I made a TikTok video of me punching out the glass of the filter and people were so mad. It went like super viral, at least viral for me. It had like 600,000 views. and people were so mad that I broke this UV filter. I was surprised. I didn't think people actually used these things. Usually they come for free. Like if you buy a kit, if you buy a lens or a camera on like B&H, they'll throw in a UV filter for free. But it was very entertaining to see the comment section of that. I'm sure I'll get some of those comments in this video. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. More motocross behind the scenes coming really soon. I actually intended to shoot motocross a couple track days here and there, but unfortunately they got rained out, so that didn't happen. But I have one coming up this weekend, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.